Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Fantasy II, specifically the Pixel Remastered version. I am Marusu, and boy, am I excited to talk about this game. Final Fantasy II is different. It is different than the other games in the series, specifically in its leveling up mechanic. It's hit with a lot of controversies in that regard because, well, I'll show you when we get into the game. Now, Final Fantasy II is its release was very, very weird. See, Final Fantasy II was originally created in Japan in 1988 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the Famicom, technically, for the Famicom system, and it's was originally planned on releasing to America and Europe uh, in 1991 uh, in a game called Final Fantasy II: The Shadows over Palakia. There's multiple different reasons why that did not happen. There's the issue of the Nintendo Entertainment System had limitations and they couldn't get to their localization was taking a long time. One of the big reasons was by the time that 2 would have hit Western cultures, the Super Nintendo was becoming massively popular, and America, I guess, didn't want big releases to take away from the Super Nintendo. So they didn't want to release any more games that were like really big for the Nintendo Entertainment System. So they ended up just skipping over Final Fantasy II and Final Fantasy III and just releasing Final Fantasy IV for the Super Nintendo, which came out around that time. So in America, you would have Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 4, also called Final Fantasy 2 because it was the second one that released in America, skipped over 5 for some reason or another. I have to do research on that one. And then went straight on to Final Fantasy 6 and released that as Final Fantasy 3 in America. And 2, 3, and 5 would not release in the West for some time, with Final Fantasy 2 not coming over to America until the Final Fantasy Origins collection in 2003. Over 15 years later, after the game actually came out. But just to really hit it home how late this is, that's after the release of Final Fantasy X for the PS2. It didn't come out until the PlayStation 1 in 2003. Which, at the time that it came out for the PlayStation was already, I wouldn't say a dying console because a lot of people still played it, but it was on the way out. PlayStation 2 is a thing now. Final Fantasy X's coming out. You're getting games like Kingdom Hearts. So by the time that this even comes over, not many people are. Every kid in America is like, I want the new best thing. I want a PS2, and nobody's buying PlayStation games. So it just kind of like just got lost in things, and I luckily had the chance of getting an Origins version. I talk about a lot in my last playthrough of how I played through the Origins versions of 1 and 2 quite a bit, and I've played this game quite a bit. Not nearly as much as I've played 1, but I've played it quite a bit. It is a fun game. It's just it took them 15 years to get it over to America for one reason or another. Another reason is apparently 2 wasn't generally considered that popular, and they really wanted to push the Super Nintendo games, so they sent over Final Fantasy IV, which is a personal favorite of mine. Like I'm 100% happy with that, but it makes a bunch of discrepancies because now you have a bunch of people out there that still call Final Fantasy IV 2 and still call Final Fantasy VI 3, when in reality they're not. Like in this Pixel Remaster, they are called 4 and 6, and it doesn't matter what order they came to America. It's still Final Fantasy VI. It's not 3. 3 is a different game. Can't have 2 Final Fantasy 3s. But this, you know what? Let's get into it. All right, so we have our 4 characters. See that they already have names: Furion, Maria, Guy, and Leon. This is the first Final Fantasy game that has definitive characters. They're not generic characters like the first one. They are definitive characters. This is who they are. That is Furion, that is Maria, that is Guy, and that is Leon. You can change their name because, you know, at this point there's still no voice acting, so you can name them whenever you want. I personally do not like changing the names of my characters. I think it destroys a little bit of immersion in the game. Like this is Furion to me. This is Guy. I am going to refrain from making my jokes on Guy because I don't want to spoil the game. But there's a line that Guy says later on in the game that lives rent-free in my head, and it makes him one of my favorite characters. But it has definitive characters. It has an overall arcing actual story. It's the first game with an actual story, characters, lore, everything. Like Final Fantasy 1 has a story, it has lore, but it's kind of more generic. It's like you have heroes, you're battling an evil, gotta stop a time loop. It's very generic. This game actually has arcs. It has actual character development. You know, your characters, for one, actually have personalities. Final Fantasy 1 did not have your characters have personalities. They were just mirrors of yourself. They were whatever you wanted your characters to be, which is the beauty of Final Fantasy 1. I get into that in the last video of Final Fantasy 1. I'm not changing my characters' names. They are staying what they are. I'm going to start the game with these characters. A long-lived peace. Is at an end. The Emperor of Palamecia has called forth monsters. It's going too fast. And has begun the campaign. The world began. It's really fast. I am not that fast of a reader. Slow down. A rebel armies arose in the kingdom of Fen to thwart the enemy's advances. But the rebels' cattle fell into an all-out assault by the Empire. Left with little choice, the rebels withdrew the remote town of Altair. Four youths of the Fen had found themselves fleeing from the Empire. They had lost their parents at the hand of the Empire, but their escape wasn't over. Yeah. You can't have JRPGs without orphans. Three elements to make up a JRPG. Orphans, the Empire, gotta kill God. It's a JRPG. Sometimes the church is bad too. Alright, so here's a fight against 4 Black Knights. First off, I should mention that anyone that knows Final Fantasy already knows this, but in case you don't, and you're for some reason getting introduced to the game through me, a guy that came way too late to the Let's Play party, the Final Fantasy games are not connected unless they share a title, like Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy. I don't know why Ever Crisis is the first one that comes to my mind. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Dirge Cerberus, or Final Fantasy X and X-2, Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13. Unless it shares a title with it, they are not connected. There's a lot of theories about some games being connected with another. 2 and 5, for example. There's theories about 2 and 5 being connected to each other. There's no proof of this. It's just a theory. Alright, so for this fight, all we can do is attack. I missed. Yeah, you can't win this fight. It is an instant loss. We are not soldiers. We are orphans. Will he live? He will. I sense the strong life force within him. He should regain consciousness soon. We found them like this on the escape from Finn, fallen from terrible wounds. By the time we brought them here, I feared it was already too late. His life is not in danger. This sigil has strengthened his life force. We should let him rest now. Of course. We'd best be off to the meeting. I imagine they're already waiting for us. If the Empire is allowed to complete the Dreadnought, they're building in Bafsk. Their attack will begin in earnest. We cannot sit idly by and watch. We must act. Where am I? Leon! Maria! Guy! Where are you? Yep, our characters actually talk in this game. Firion, you're alive. I thought you... I'm fine, Maria. You seem alright too, Guy. But wait, where's Leon? Princess of Fen save us. But Leon not here. I see. Don't worry. I'm sure he's okay. Sorry about that. So you've regained your strength. Very good. Your life force is strong indeed. It was you who saved us, wasn't it? Oh yeah, my bad. It was you who saved us, wasn't it? Thank you. Forgive me, Your Highness, but there's something I must ask of you. Please let us join the rebel army. I could never allow such a thing. You know nothing of battle. You would only be throwing your lives away. You should return to your homes. But we have no homes. Not anymore. The Imperials attacked, and our parents... I am truly sorry, but things change. That changes nothing. I cannot permit you to join our army. If you're nowhere else to go, you're welcome to stay here at Altair. If you know our password, you should be able to live here well enough. The password is Wild Rose. Remember it well. Alright, so this game introduces a new feature that I'm pretty sure only exists in this Final Fantasy game. You have keywords. You can learn keywords, ask anyone these keywords, use key items to progress. So here we want to learn Wild Rose. If it shows a red there, that means we can learn it. And now we can ask it. The Wild Rose is the insignia of our Kingdom of Fen. It represents our hopes for the flourishing future of strength and beauty. But what will become of Fen now? I've heard that the Empire's captives suffer there in confinement, even as we speak. Maria, your brother Leon is missing, is he not? It's possible that he's being held in Fen as well. But Fen is far too dangerous to travel to now. The Emperor's beasts still stalk the streets. Gaining entrance to the city will not be easy. The man at my right is Minwu, the white wizard who tended your wounds. Speak with him before you leave. He may be of some assistance. And she just said the same thing. Yeah, so you can just ask anyone these things. Whoop. Not that. Alright. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Space to close. There you go. No, nothing. Alright. So we want to talk to Minwu here. I see your destiny clearly. The future it holds seems closely entwined with mine own. You will begin by journeying to Fen. That is the first step towards realizing your fate. When I asked about the Wild Rose, you've wasted no time in using our password. Heed well the information it will bring you. You can learn much of value by listening. I offer you one more bit of advice before you depart to Fen. Those who have fallen in battle cannot be revived at a sanctuary. Thank you. Alright, let's talk to some people. The port of Palom lies not far east of here, but a lake separates us. So you won't be able to reach the town without a canoe. So I gotta get a canoe. This is the rebel army's war room. Heading to Finn, are you? It's not my place to tell you what to do, but I'd reconsider if I were you. It's a dangerous place to be. You see, the city is crawling with the Empire's monsters. To the north lies a small village called Gatria. Judging by the look of you, you'd be lucky to make it that far. Before you go anywhere, I suggest you visit the room with a sigil that saved your life. There, you'll find people who can teach you things or two about adventuring. I think you're going to need all the advice they can spare. Voice acting still not that good. Alright. Yeah, let's head this way. Yeah, they mentioned that there's a bunch of people here. Nothing happened to myself on that sigil. Shall I teach you a thing or two about weapons? No. Alright, so you can talk to these people to get information about the game. I'm not going to. I know things about this game. Oh! This game has formations. It is the first game that allows you to put people in the front and back row. The way that this works is if you're in the front row, you deal more damage physically, but you also take more damage physically. If you are in the back row, you do less damage unless you have a long-ranged weapon. As you can see, Maria here has a bow. A bow is a long-range weapon, so she'll do normal damage from the back row. Back row also does not hinder magical abilities. So if you're using magic from the back row, you'll be fine. And you also take less damage from the back row unless you're hit with a long-ranged attack or magic. Yeah, I don't want to talk to any of these people. They just tell you the generic RPG information that you should know if you're playing an RPG. Alright, I want to go in here. This is the king's bedchamber. His Majesty was grievously wounded in the fight from Fen. He's been resting here for some time now. An arrow struck me in the back during my battle, leaving me in this state. Perhaps I really have grown old. My daughter Hilda now serves as regent. You should speak with her. And there's nothing in this room. Now, there's one chest in Altair, as we can see. We want to go find that. It's right there. You're in the rebels' hideout in the town of Altair. Thank you. Gordon, the Prince of Koshwan, is hiding out here in Altair. I don't know what happened, but something has made him lose faith in himself. Princess Hilda fled here when Finn was stacked. She's doing a remarkable job of leading the rebel army while His Majesty recovers. You can go over here. Beds. Go to sleep. Gotta snore. Alright. Potion. Yay. Alright. That's it for this place. Let's leave. Alright, so now we're out in the kingdom of Altair. I'm Paul, greatest thief in the world. They've yet to invent the loot I can't buggle or steal. The Imperial coffers have kept my purses fat with gil lately. I never steal from the rebels. You can be sure of that. My home was in Finn too. I can't even go home now that the Empire has occupied our city. This is the town of Altair. The Imperial forces haven't been deployed this far out yet. I suppose it's only a matter of time, though. Alright. I'll check out the shops in a sec. Tobul's the fellow in the weapon shop. He's one fine blacksmith. I think something's been bothering him lately, though. Paul's a skilled thief, but don't worry. You can trust him. He only steals from the Imperials. My name is Gordon. I was once a prince of Kashwan. Now I'm nothing but a coward. When my brother Scott fell in battle, I abandoned my kingdom and fled here. So you've asked to take up arms in the struggle. I'm so afraid Hilda will turn me away that I haven't even asked her. I've been stalling here. I'm just a spineless coward. Go on. Go ahead. Laugh. I deserve it. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at you. Alright, so this is the sanctuary. You use this to revive your party members if you do not have a Phoenix down or life. Alright, so let's go check out the equipment. We're gonna want equipment before we head on out. Here's Tobul. What can I do? What could you want from me? I'm just an old man. The geezer act is just a cover. My name is Tobul, and I'm the best darn blacksmith in the rebel army. Cool, I'll remember you. What can I do for you? Alright, so I can buy a knife, staff. Alright, so I should mention this. This game, everyone can equip everything. There's no classes. There's nothing of the sort. You get no experience in this game, and there is no levels. The way that this game works is different actions in combat will give you experience towards a certain stat. There's a hidden experience. There's a hidden experience gauge that you cannot see, and different actions will give you different experience towards that action. Now, anyone can equip any weapon in this game, and depending on what they have equipped, they will get a proficiency in that skill, making them stronger with that skill. Now, I'm weird, and the way that I like playing this game is I keep everyone with their base weapons, right? So, for example, Furion is going to always be my sword and shield user. Maria's always going to have a bow, and Guy's always going to have an axe. I'm not going to change that. I feel like it's a core part of who they are, having these weapons. It's the same reason that I decided to keep Fran with the bow in Final Fantasy XII. I feel like it's a core part of their personality to keep them using the same type of weapon that they start the game in. Alright, so here, I don't want to use a buckler on them for reasons that I'll get into in a little bit. Alright, so I can buy me 3 leather caps and 3 gloves. Yeah, I want to do that. There we go. Alright, leather cap, leather glove. Yeah, as you see, it's like their evasions are going down. You have magic interference and magic defense in this game. That is also new. You did not have magic defense in the first game, or magic interference. But here you can dodge magic and you can protect against magic. But I'm just gonna shove this stuff on them. I don't want to give him a shield. Not yet. Alright. I'm going to check out the magic shop. Anyone can also use any magic in this game. As magic also has a proficiency, right? Now, the way I'm going to do this, right, is because Maria's going to always be in the back row anyways, I'm going to make her my black mage. and I'm going to turn Firion into something similar to a white knight, like a paladin. You can always give extra spells to the other people if you want, but the way that this game works is as you get proficient in some stats, your other stats will start dropping, right? So as Maria starts getting stronger in magic, her attack's going to start going down, and vice versa. So you don't really want to do too much of that. So it's best to leave the magic on one person, right? Now, I don't have a lot of magic right here, so I'm just going to buy Cure and I'm going to move on. You can find a lot of things out in the wild in this game. I'm going to give him Cure. And now you can... no, not that. But go to Magic. Now you can see he has level 1 Cure, right? As I use Cure, this is going to level up. As it levels up, it will cost more MP and become stronger. You have to be careful on using this too much out of combat, because if you use it too much out of combat, it will level up to a point that it's going to be starting to cost you way more MP than you can generally afford. You only get your MP up by using magic in combat. Much like HP and MP, they go up and you gain experience towards them to level them up. If you finish the battle with less HP or MP that you started the battle in. So it's beneficial to just use them in combat and not use them too much outside of combat. Now there's only just the one magic in this game. Now I'm going to get into a couple of fights because there's 3 enemies here I do want to showcase before I get off. Here's one, a leg eater. All right. So, again, the way this game works, right? You attack something. All right. So, if I use an attack, I'm going to get. If I use an attack, I get proficiency in the weapon that I have, as well as I get the hidden experience towards my attack stat. If I get hit, I get hidden experience in my defense stat. If I dodge an attack, I get experience in my evasion. If I use a magical attack, I get experience in my intellect, my magic. If I get hit by a magical attack, I get experience in my magical defense. If I finish the battle with less HP or MP than I started the battle, I will then get more HP or MP. It is beneficial to sit here and try to get your skills up at least a little bit, because this game, I would argue that Final Fantasy II is probably one of the hardest Final Fantasy games, simply for the fact that you do not have levels. You have to basically micromanage your stats in this game, and that can become a big issue, right? It can become a big issue, and you can get overwhelmed pretty fast. Now, eventually you will get to a cap. There is a point where your stats and skills will reach the cap for an individual monster, right? So you will not be able to keep on attacking. Like, I'm going to attack him. You cannot keep on attacking a monster and have your things keep going up. So there's an exploit. There is a way to get your stats up really, really high. And because there's no cap on this particular exploitation, you can do it forever until you max out your stats right here at the beginning of the game. Because you attacking an enemy will not make the enemy's stats go up. With that being said, eventually your stats will out-level your opponent's stats, and eventually they'll just stop giving you experience. But if you were to attack a party member, well, guess what? Guy's attack's going up, Furion's defense is going up, Furion's HP is going up. And you can do this forever. You can do this forever because the defensive player's stats are going to be going up and the attacking player's stats are going to be going up. Right? And having Cure, I can have him use Cure on himself. And you can just keep doing this. Have Guy attack Furion, Furion heals himself. Guy attack Furion, Furion heal himself, right? Furion's MP is going up, Cure is going up, Guy's attack's going up, Furion's defense is going up. And you can just keep on doing it. You can keep on exploiting the game to this point, and you can outlevel every enemy in the game. Do note, however, that takes forever. You will be here for hours doing that. The curve will start getting higher to where it's like as you going up levels, you'll start gaining experience a lot faster. But it is a grind. It is, honestly, in my opinion, a little bit boring. And it just makes the game way too easy. I personally just don't like doing that. I just want to fight the enemies. I just want to fight the enemies. And just have it go as it goes. Yeah, see, he just used Cure 1. I'm going to attack the enemies again. I'm going to have him attack Furion just because I want Furion to have less HP than he started the battle in. There we go. And with all of that, as you can see, Furion's sword and shield went up, and Maria's bow and Guy's axe went up because they used their abilities. Now, I think the shield only goes up if he gets hit. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But, yep, Furion got more HP and more stamina, right? Because, like I said, HP and MP go up by ending the battle with less than you started in. Stamina goes up by being hit. Magic goes up by attacking with a magical spell. Spirit goes up by, what causes Spirit to go up? Yeah, I want to say magic goes up by using any magical ability, I think. Spirit goes up by using white magic abilities. Intellect goes up by using black magic abilities. And agility goes... You know, I'm not entirely sure what causes agility to go up. It just kind of goes up. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe running away. And then evasion goes up by you dodging, and magic defense goes up by being hit by magical spells. There's a lot that goes into this game, but as you can see, why does his magic defense go up? Is it because I used Cure on myself? All right, but you see where it says evasion and magic defense, where it says 1 times and then a percentage. This is more like in your face about the hidden mechanics that Final Fantasy 1 did, right? So his evasion is he will evade 1 attack 23% of the time, right? As this goes up, it will end up becoming like 2 attacks 30% of the time. That means he has a chance of dodging 2 hits, but each one of those hits is going to be a 30% dice roll, right? So right now he has a chance of dodging 1 attack with a 90% chance, right? That percentage will be rolled on every single one of his dodges. So if his evasion gets up to 5 times, let's just say 5 times 40, right? He'll try to dodge 5 times, but every single one of those dodges is going to have a 40% chance of being effective. And that's how that mechanic works. Maria just got strength because all she did was attack, and Guy got nothing for whatever reason. But as you go through the game, you will see that eventually your some of your stats might actually start dropping. They might start actually going down, which is a effect of one stat going up, which will hinder another stat. So this is quite literally min-maxing the game. I don't personally like min-maxing, but I do like this proficiency system. I do think it is a fresh take on the Final Fantasy series. It's different. No other game does this, and I do think it is pretty cool, right? As you can see, accuracy also has that same thing. He'll attack. He only has one hit, and he'll hit 70% of the time. So he's pretty inaccurate right now. She's even more inaccurate. Excuse me. Another good use of Cure is, as you can see, Furion's only at 12. Excuse me. Furion's only at 12 HP, which means when he goes into the next battle, it'll start at I want to say it will start at 12 HP, and then he has to be lower than that in order to get experience. So it's good to top him off, which I'm actually going to do. But you only get proficiency. You do not get any experience for your stats outside of battle. Only inside of battle. I'm going to see if I can find these other two enemies. Here's a Hornet. All right, so I'm just going to attack. I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack. He missed. She missed. He missed. Everybody's missing. Hey, someone hit. And I'm poisoned. Fascinating. Yeah, the game is a bit slow in the start, but there you go. Level ups all around for their proficiencies, which will mean that their current strength and defenses with these weapons and accuracies are going to get buffed. They're going to be a little bit better. It doesn't make the weapon stronger. It just makes their attack stat and accuracy higher when using those weapons. And then with shields, it makes his ability to blocking an attack higher. And his evasion just went up. Evasion, more gil. Yeah. Money is a lot more tight in this game. But I want to buy... I probably don't need to buy these spells, because you will find tomes around in the wild. I cannot stress enough how many fire, ice, and lightning tomes you're going to find in this game. But it doesn't hurt to grind out a little bit. And that was the last enemy in this area, I'm pretty sure. There's two more Hornets. Yeah. Yeah. Their evasions are going higher because of their dodging. His strength went up. Or her strength went up, my bad. Fury and actually, I'm going to go in here now, because I'm going to turn Maria into prominently a mage. She's going to have her bow and arrow, which is going to help if she can't use magic, but I'll have her use magic. I'm going to start off by getting me fire. There we go. Now I can go use fire. Give that to Maria. But yeah, at the start of this game, one thing you really, really want to do is you want to increase your HP and MP immediately. And also, this game is the first game where you can select multi-targets. It lowers the potency of the attack on each individual person, but you can attack everyone with it. He missed. Dude, I gotta get your accuracy up. Alright, fire one. It doesn't cost any more to do that. It just makes it weaker, but it can attack a party. Or you can condense your entire attack and just attack one person. It will be stronger, but I'll just do auto battle. It will be stronger, but you don't really need to worry about that right now. All right, nothing went up there. I got some more gil. That's nice. I need Furion to cure. Leg Eater. Furion, cure her. Fire on both of them and attack. Never mind, no cure. More gil. Eventually, fire is going to go up. Cure. There we go. Alright, yeah, so Furion's MP went up by 5, which is nice. And his magic and spirit went up. Because magic goes up by using any magical spell, and spirit goes up by using white magic. Intellect goes up by using black magic. And then MP goes up by using your MP in combat. And so now he can have up to 15, which is nice. Grinding that up to like 20 at this point would be beneficial, but one of the things you have to worry about, specifically for like Furion right now, is he only has one magical ability in order to get that up. As he's using that, his cure is going up higher, which means he's going to be using more abilities. So being at 20 might not be beneficial, because by the time he gets there, cure might be level 3, which means he's going to be using 3 MP every single time he uses it, but it will be stronger. You don't need to worry about that too much. I mostly just want Maria to get up to a higher thing. So I don't need to use cure right now. That just in the water. Oops, sorry about that. All right, so fire 1 on everyone. Nice. They're all dead. Nope. Trying to get her up MP. And it's just beneficial to just keep doing this until you run out of MP, and then go rest. And it's a good way to grind. There you go. Her MP is up at 15 now. Magic went up. Her intellect didn't go up, but it's fine. And Guy, was that HP? Yeah, his HP went up. Yeah, Guy's gonna be your tank. The way I build Guy in this game is absolutely hilarious to me. Once I can buy a second axe, I'll show you. Alright, so I'm gonna rest. I'm not gonna grind too much. I might grind a little bit if I'm having issues in this game. But all in all, as long as you're attacking everything and you're being smart about what spells you use when, you'll be fine. She can go buy another ability now. Again, you don't have to worry about this. Also, be forewarned that you can only equip, I want to say 16 spells on anyone. You don't have you don't have spell charges like you do in the first game. This game is the first one to introduce MP magic points, which would you use magic points to use spells. Higher level spells cost more magic points. And you're not limited to the levels of the spells like you are in Final Fantasy 1. But each person can only equip 16 spells. So it will come to a point where it's like you're going to run out of space for spells that you're going to want. So you're going to have to like, oh, I don't want that spell, or put some on someone else. Like, you're going to have Guy, so you can always put some spells on him if you need to, but that's a problem for another day when we actually get to that problem. But as you can see, Maria is going to be a bit squishy, but she's going to be the mage. The beginning of this game is a bit difficult, but it's not too hard as you go on. Now, as of right now, I'm not going to worry about buying that last spell. I'm going to Yeah, look at that map. This is a huge world. Yeah. Uh, I'm not gonna worry about that, and we're gonna start heading our way north to the campment outside of Finn in the next step. Sorry about that. I just hit my microphone. In the next episode. All right. If you like what I do here, like and subscribe. Um, if you want to give me any more information about the stat games in this game, because I cannot for the life of you remember what gets agility up. I think it is just having turns. I'm not sure. But shoot me down a comment. Help me remember these things. Give me information. I'll put them in my videos. I want more people to know all the hidden tips and tricks of Final Fantasy, because it gets absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment. In the next video, we're heading north. Till then, airship. Until then, I'll see you all next time. Take care, and bye.